Welcome back. We had a little snafu. That's not a word I use very often. I do it a lot, but I don't use the word very often. We had a little snafu earlier. We didn't know we were live. I don't know what we were even talking about. Hope we didn't say anything too bad. And our camera was going the wrong direction, so we had to stop, delete it, and move on. But we're back, and we got a double special today because Teresa's here.
Good morning.
Teresa's here. It's not Monday. She's here on a Wednesday.
February 1st.
Welcome February. Welcome February. One winter month down and on to the next one. But February's great because it's got Valentine's Day and lots of fun things. Groundhog Day. And me in 23.
Yeah.
So Teresa, we're going to start out. Well, we've got some new stuff to show. Let's do that. And we've got a 5-day special for February. I'm a little flustered now, everyone, so I'm going to have to slow down and catch my breath. In February, we're going to have 4 different specials of things that we love. And our first special, it starts today and it goes through Sunday, are the Simple Stories, the flip albums. Teresa's shaking this one over here. Come over here. The flip albums and the snap binders. So those are 25% off.
Yeah.
So you can get a good deal on those. Yeah, stock up.
These don't go on sale very often, so.
They don't, and they make great little mini albums.
Yeah. I love the 6x8 and the 4x6 if you have a little quick one to do.
And you are doing one. You're using one of those, so it's perfect. Maybe that had a little something to do with the special. And we'll remind everybody of that at the end because we've got a lot to do today. So here's a few new things that came in. This is the Sunday Adventure Prints from Fun Stamper's Journey. It's a paper pack with 24 sheets.
Wow, $11.99.
$11.99 for 24 sheets of paper. That's not bad. I like that one right there with the carrots and green beans. And so we've got that paper pack, and then there's another 12x12 paper pack. This has got the zebra print. And I'm not sure what animal this is. What's that other animal? Is that a cougar or something? I don't even want to say because I don't know. But those are new in stock, 24 sheets.
That's a bargain.
Double-sided. And then we got something back in stock that we haven't had for a while, and that's the Spellbinders magnetic storage. They call it a storage tool, but you can see by the picture it helps you pick up your dies, or if you're a sewer or quilter, it'd be good for pins.
It can sit that way. I don't know why they put it in the package this way.
You're right. It would sit up the other way very nicely. It looks like a great big diamond.
Yeah, it's $16.99.
We haven't had that for a while. Oh, Robin says it's a leopard. Sharon says it's a cheetah. So it's an animal, a wild African animal.
All right, we've got some stamps. This one's called Big Words Thank You for $16.99.
It's cool because you've got the big word, and you can go hello, and then you can put friend underneath of it, or thank you for all you've done.
I might need this one.
That's
need a good
stupendous.
thanks stamp. I like that. All right. Then we have a nice sympathy one. This is called Sincere Sentiments.
So with deepest sympathy for your loss, I know it's been very difficult for you. Know that you're in our prayers. It's nice to have those. Are great inside cards, or you can use them on the front.
Yep.
Good morning, everyone. We're so glad you're joining us. We're showing a few new things that came in, and then we're going to talk to Teresa about me in 23. And these are just darn fun fonts with the greetings.
This is called Brushed Messages for $16.99.
Anniversary blessings, thinking of you, best wishes.
Take care, love and prayers.
We were kind of worried because Stampenda's was closing down after they've been in business way longer than Memory Bound. And they were closing down, and the owner was deciding to kind of retire or step back, or it's getting to be too much. And then Spellbinders took over for them. So that worked out well.
So this is Spring Blooms. It's a 4-flower die set for $9.99. That's a good price.
Yeah, it's really good. And if you want the big flowers, it's nice to have that big die. Looks like we got Janet here. So howdy, Janet. We're glad you're here today too. These are new from Sam Poole and Creative Expressions. And we've got the Shabby Basics lace doily here.
And that's $20.99.
And you know, I love that other shabby doily, and this is a new take on it. You'll notice it's not perfect. It's got broken little threads.
Kind of an oval shape. And then we have another one. This one is called Shabby Basics Lace Doily, and it's $21.99.
I can't wait to cut those out. We're gonna cut them out. Teresa PJ says, good morning from icy Texas. Diane was telling me
I saw that on the news.
About that, how bad it was.
Yeah. Stay safe. Stay home.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and we just had people asking about this yesterday. The infinity die from Hero Arts, the rectangles, are in stock.
$25.99. It's nice to have nesting like that. You can make frames and just have a variety.
It's got lots of stuff.
Hero Arts does a nice job with their nesting. They
you get
a lot. Sizes. Yep.
And then another sample item. This is a paper pack 8x8 called Worn and Weathered.
And it is $14.99. And it's 8x8.
Well, is it 8x8? I
Yes.
assume so.
8x8.
This is a lot of that good vintage paper.
Nice backgrounds.
So if you like to do things shabby, this goes well with Tim Holtz, some of the Tim Holtz ideology. It goes well with 49 and Market. It's a good background. And Janet just posted that they're canceling schools in Dallas.
Yeah.
So if those are our new things, and then if you missed it yesterday, Diane was here and she showed us the ultimate page kits from 49 and Market. They had Tranquility and Rouge. This is Tranquility. That's filled with all kinds of little embellishments, and the cool thing is that the back is printed so you can see what it's supposed to look like, and then the front you can actually do it. And we had a great idea, Teresa, with this yesterday, that you could, if you put it in a clear page protector, you could use both sides. So you could do up one side and then you could leave the back.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So I thought that, I can't remember who said that, so I apologize. They want to know how thick this paper is. It is on the thinner side. I can't even grab it. Oh, it's not super thin though.
No. But it is single-sided.
It's
so
single-sided.
Those tend to be lighter weight. Yeah.
Looks like Arkansas shut down. Oh my gosh. Everyone needs to come to Iowa, Teresa. It's fine here. It's so sunny. Nice. And it's going to be warm today.
15 degrees here.
Woohoo!
But the sun is out.
Oh gosh. And Elaine says, thank goodness for our videos because everyone's stuck inside in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, sorry about all your bad weather, everyone. And thanks for joining us today. All right, Teresa did some homework.
Yeah. I had the Lost Shadow
the glaze
from Tim Holtz, and so I have been doing tags with that, with the little ladybug, and then I've been using the dauber and putting it on paper so you can see how you can see through, and I stamped it and then embossed it. So this is the new color, the Lost Shadow, and I just wanted to compare it. This is Hickory Smoke, so I wanted you to see the difference. It's a really soft gray. This is the Hickory Smoke, so you can see the difference.
That's a big difference. Hickory Smoke looks really a little more brown even in the glaze.
Yeah, it does. So we have a lot of the glaze here and samples so you can see what colors they are.
Teresa's been doing that every time a new color comes out with the glaze. She makes us a sample, which is really nice. And if in case you weren't sure, the glaze actually is an embossing powder, but it has a clear property, so it's not opaque like most embossing powders.
Yeah.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. We got, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on us today, Teresa, because all these people,
starting the month.
All these people are snowed in or iced in, and they're watching, and it's our first day of kicking off Meet the Staff, and it feels like Monday to me because I went home early yesterday.
We need to entertain. Our entertainment value needs to be up
here. I know. I feel it does, and I hope we can do it today for everybody.
I'll try.
All right.
Okay. So not only are we introducing staff this month, but I'm doing a project called Me in 23. And so we do have a little prompt sheet.
You'll have to open that because it's not packaged where you can see everything.
Yeah.
So Teresa came up with these prompts, and so in this, I guess I'll call it kind of a kit, you're going to get a sheet with all of Teresa's ideas.
So the idea is to scrapbook about you, and the staff here is going to be doing this all month, and it's something that I've worked really hard on. Not right away when I started scrapbooking. When I first started, all I scrapbooked was my son and his sports and his birthdays. I did some holidays, Halloween mainly, but as I got older, there's a trend of scrapbooking yourself, especially for people who don't have children. Or grandchildren. Grandchildren are easy to scrapbook.
Yes, they're quite fun.
But you don't get grandchildren if you don't have children. You can scrapbook your pets, of course, but it's really important to scrapbook yourself and to give yourself permission that it's okay to do that. And I think it's important to do that.
Well, it's fun to look back on. Teresa, I found, I'll show it later, but I did find a book I did about myself quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
So it was really fun.
So, we are going to do Me in 23, and we're going to do it in February, so you love yourself because of the Valentines, and also because it's a short month. So you only have to do 28 pages. The idea is to take a photo every day and to scrapbook that photo. And it doesn't have to be elaborate. I'm going to show you, I'm doing 2 albums. One I'm doing
I know.
for my husband, Scott.
How lucky he is.
Yes, he's so lucky that I'm doing this for him. He's a little resistant, but I think he's finally gotten on board. And I started it in January, so I had some things to show you guys as ideas. And then I'm doing one of myself, 2 different styles of albums. You can do it however, whatever works for you, whatever you like. But we do have a list of prompts. So the first one, is like me, your home, what's in your, so you can do your bag, purse, backpack, and you don't have to stick with these. If there's something that's not on here that you think is a good idea, let us know, and I will definitely
do your own thing.
Yes, do your own thing. But and then we did do some journaling cards for you. And so this one just says favorite because I have a whole list of favorites. And favorites are easy to do. You know what your favorite food is, what your favorite color is. I hope you do. So those are easy. They're pretty easy prompts. And today in Iowa, it's nice and sunny. So it's a good day to start when it's sunny during the day. Take your first picture right away, and then you have it done for the day. But you can add whatever you want on the favorites. And then we did a 4x6 as well. So you don't have to use these, but they're good prompts, and there's different ways. You'll see us using them different ways. Kellie's doing one as well. And then this one has some of the first ones, like Me in 23. That's a good one to start your album with. There's that what's in your, so that's like your purse, wallet, bag, your routine.
Your junk drawer. I think what's in your junk drawer would be good.
Oh, yes. Cats or dogs, apples or oranges. That's something that I saw a TV host ask celebrities, and it's always funny how they respond. My husband said you can't compare apples and oranges, and I'm like, just what is your favorite? I know it's oranges for him and it's apples for me, but so these are your journaling cards that you can get, or you can just do it. You don't need to get this, but it's a fun way to keep you motivated. So we've got those for you.
And we want to give a shout out to Janet because she actually, Teresa gave her what she wanted for the titles and the words, and Janet did all the designing. So Janet, awesome really job.
I'm enjoying using them because I never would have done this. I would have just put the word at the top and that would have been it. But they're sideways and they're creative, and I really like it.
They're really neat.
It's a good inspiration for you then when you're journaling as a stepping off point. So I showed last week that I'm doing a tag album for me. So this is just the number 8 Dina Wakley tags. And I haven't done anything else on mine. But one thing I want to remind you guys is, I know a lot of people, when we talked about this last week, were like, oh, I hate pictures of myself. If you put the, what's it called? The
portrait mode?
Portrait mode on your phone.
It does help.
It helps. And I did it here, and it just fuzzies the background, and it looks, it makes you look better. I don't know.
It's professional. It looks like a professional photo.
Yes. So this is just me in 23. So you just put a picture of yourself, and then you can journal about that. And I did not journal. I just put my age. And then here, this is the favorite spot. Favorite? I use the favorite reading spot.
So Teresa took her card and stamped on it.
Yep. And I also used stickers on it, and I inked the edges. Oh, I forgot to get the paper pack. Hey, can you get this paper pack, the
Bella Rosa? Or
yeah.
Oh, it's Reminisce.
You know, with the hexagons on the front. I can't think of what it's called.
I think it's Elizabeth Crafts. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Bella Rose. So, okay, going back to that one. Okay, so here it is. Mm-hmm. So there's how Teresa took. I just wanted everyone to see this. I know we showed it last week, but I think it's cool just to see how she took that one word and changed it.
Yeah, there's so many things that you can do with these journaling cards. Like I said, they're a good stepping off point. And I'm using the, Bella Rose Pink. Bella Rose Pink. And I like pink, but it also has some browns and blacks and other colors. So I think this is going to be good for me. We'll see if I have to use some other paper.
It kind of gives you a starting point if you have something you're going to use.
Yeah, and you can always print in black and white. You can see here I have red on, and so I just use red ink to ink around the edges, and I used a reinforcer there. And then this one I did a picture of my friends. And I put the number 3 because there's 3 of us, and I did a little journaling about it, and I did some more journaling. Oh, I did a quote. I talked about that, how quotes are good. If you don't have anything to say, find a quote and put that on there. That's what I do. I don't know if other people do that or not. And of course, a little washi tape. More washi tape on there, so you just add. You don't have to add a lot of embellishments.
So Teresa's off and running in her Me in 23.
So I've already got 3 days done, you guys. I'm ahead of the curve,
yes,
right?
Especially when it's day 1 in February.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you starting early.
And I am using the 49 and Market these envelopes. They're $2.99, and just to keep myself organized. So this is mine. And
so she got all your cards in there and some photos.
Cut apart. So you can see I've cut some of them apart already. And then these are some photos that I know I'm going to use. So I printed those off if you have your own printer, or you can send them off to Walgreens and get those done. And then I also know that I'm going to use a little bit of our memory bound paper for my work page. So I am set.
There's comments about people not taking pictures of themselves, and that's
you got to do it.
That's what we need to do, because wouldn't you love to have something of this from like a family member or grandma or your mom grandma, or just how I would love to have this.
Or your sister.
That's what's inspiring me.
Yeah. And think about, when you look at those really old pictures and how they're not smiling.
Yeah.
And how that I get a kick out of it, I think. I know my grandma didn't smile a lot in pictures, and I have one favorite one of her that she just looks so serious, and it just makes me smile every time I see it, because I know she was a happy person, but she never smiled in photos. So, you don't have to show teeth. You can also, there's other things you can do if you just maybe take a picture of part of your body. I know some people said they do half a selfie with their grandchildren, and that's okay. Maybe you want to take a picture of your hands. Lots of people will scrapbook about their hands. I have a birthmark on my hand, so I have taken pictures of my hands and talked about other people's hands and what they can do in their family. Maybe it's your feet. I have a picture of I took a Valentine picture once of me and my husband just from the waist down and our feet facing each other. Oh.
There's lots of fun little things you can do, that's for
sure.
So
you don't have to do the whole body.
Or take a picture of your favorite thing if you want to do that, too.
You know, the other thing you can do is have someone take your picture when you're walking away. So it's just the back of you. If you don't want this,
but you need,
which I think you should.
Yes.
But that's another thing that you can do is have a picture from the back, because that's just a way. And I do that all the time. I'm a big walker, and so I will. Sometimes I have actually set up the tripod on the bike path and walked away and taken my own picture. Sometimes I'll ask my husband if he goes on a walk with me. So,
well, I think we're going to inspire a lot of people to talk about scrapbook and document themselves, and that's what our goal is.
All right, so this is, I'm doing one of the snap albums, which I think is a perfect idea for you guys.
And that's a flip. That's one of these. Yep. That's a flip book.
They're on sale, 25% off.
She's doing the 4x6, and they're normally $6.49. So you know that it's really affordable.
Yeah.
To do the 4x6. And Teresa, we should mention the 6x8. It's $9.99, so it would be like $7.50.
Yeah. So these are great for little projects. If you go on a little trip, I like the 6x8, but I know that I'm not going to get as many pictures of my husband. And the other thing to think about is, are you going to go vertical or horizontal? So you do need to think about that a little bit. I think with our iPhones now, we tend to take more vertical photos. That's what mine are all going to be on the tags, because it just fits better. But with Scott, I'm going to do a vertical and a horizontal. He's so excited about that one.
I'm sure he is.
So I already showed this, so I have to make sure that I turn my phone one way or the other. So here's how I did his me in 23. I just wrote things about him. I did his age, and I just drew lines around the, there's the little journaling square. So you can do whatever you want with that little square.
Denise said, back to your photo taking, that she took a photo of her girls walking away in Arlington National Cemetery, and she said that was really neat.
Very powerful, yeah. All right, and I already showed these, so I'll just flip through them. This is the home picture, and even there, you know, I added some hearts and some dots because of the dots going around. I love the little stickers. I used chipboard from the
Color Vibe.
Color
and
Vibe.
We are promoting Color Vibe this month.
We sure
too,
are.
So that's something that we're all using.
So I'm waiting for a warm day for my picture of my car. I need it to warm up a little bit. This was on a warm day that I went out and said, hey, wait a minute.
Go sit in your car.
He was going somewhere. I'm like, can you just wait a minute and let me take a picture? Oh, okay. So here's the new pages that I did. So one of your prompts is physical. And I had listed exercise, or if you do a sport. Or the other way you could go with physical is your physical appearance. Like, do you wear glasses? You could just take a picture of your glasses. I would prefer one with on your face, but and I'm thinking I might do another one of Scott, because he started wearing glasses late in his life, and he immediately bought 3 pairs of glasses, and I'm like, what are you doing? I've had 1 pair of glasses my entire life. Your prescription changes. I don't get it the first year. The second year, maybe I get a new pair of glasses.
And he went out and bought 3.
And he got 3 all at once. I'm like, nobody does that. You can't get 3 pairs of glasses. But so he, you can see when my son moved out, we changed his bedroom into a workout room. So I listed what he does. And this was just an old stamp that I had. It took me a while to find it, but I remembered that little saying. And then I just cut some little dumbbells with my silhouette machine. But you could easily do that with...
well, physical could even be a picture of your, like your Fitbit or something like that, and your steps for the day. Yep. Maybe you have a really good day of steps.
I have taken a picture of my watch with my steps on it, definitely.
I bet Scott is so happy that you have all these pictures of him and you're sharing them on public.
And look, you can even see there I am in the mirror.
Taking the picture?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And see, this is one of the Tim Holtz dies where I added the color to the frame.
That's the vintage labels.
Yep, vintage labels I use there. All right, so this one is for, what was this prompt? Was for work. So whether you're still working or you're retired or maybe you volunteer somewhere, you know, you have to kind of think outside the box. All the prompts aren't going to work for you, but there's some piece of it that you can pick out. And so during COVID, he started working at home, and he still works at home. And then we got the stand-up desk, which he loves. And then this is a stencil. So I just used, you get actually a plane.
Oh, that's the blank one?
Here's the blank one. And you're going to need, you have 23, because we made the 4x6. So you have 23.
That's right.
So you're going to have to get creative with a couple days to fill your month if you do 28 days. And you don't have to do 28 days, but so I added, this is a Tim Holtz stencil that I thought kind of looked, he's a computer guy, and oh, I totally forgot to put his job title. I'm going to have to go back and add it. It's some weird thing that I wrote down. And then I also just made this with my silhouette, which is a piece of vellum.
I like that vellum frame.
Yep,
that's
and
really
you know
neat.
what? I didn't even glue it down. I just stuck it in there because it's going to hold it on in the page protector.
Yeah. It's a good idea,
that's a
Teresa.
little tip. Sometimes if you want to block something out, it's a good way. You can still see the photo, but it's just a soft embellishment. And I don't know what happened to his, so I have one for him too, and I've got his photos, and I even have some of the journaling prompts with the photos, like what's in your, and then this is going to be his wallet. Where's his wallet picture? I had it here. Oh, it's somewhere. There it is. What's in your? So that's going to be his wallet picture. And that was his idea, to take that picture.
So he might be getting into it.
Yeah, I think he is. But what I have done is I've taken the prompt sheet and I've I wrote ideas. Like here I wrote glasses, contacts, walk. I circled cats, and I'm going to do purse. This is mine, actually. His must be at home. And then I put stars next to the one that I've done. So, and then back here I just was making lists.
So you just kind of made notes on that prompt sheet.
It's a very handy little prompt sheet. I wish I had his. I must have left it at home when I was digging through. And then I also have his favorite color is purple. I think I told you guys.
She thought it was red. She told us it was red, but it's really purple.
But yeah, so we have this. So I'm planning on using this probably for one of the pages. So I stuck that piece of paper in there as well.
And we would love to see people, if you're doing this, we'd love to see what you're doing. Pictures of your pages.
That would be
and you
awesome.
can post them here on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
They go into visitor posts, and then we share them to the main page. Or you can send it to us in an email, and we'll just keep sharing with everybody. Because, you know, it's ideas that we get from everyone. It's not just Teresa or Kelly or anybody here on our videos, but we love to get ideas from all of you.
You guys have great ideas. You're all creative. And then I did one more, and this page got a little more complicated. So this was cats or dogs, and I said dogs, and I used some washi tape. And so this is perfect because we have the cats and dogs lines
Pet
from
Shop.
Simple Stories. Yeah. So we have the paper packs, and then we have some individual papers. We don't have them all, but they're awesome because they come with a sticker sheet, and there's washi tape you can get. And I did the little album, and in the little album, I know Janine showed hers, but they had a little flip out page, and I'm like, I'm going to do that again because we have a lot of pictures with our dog, or at least my husband does. So his name is Thor, so I'm using the Simple Stories sticker book, and this is just a little journaling. They have journaling cards too that come with it. Oh, and this is another one that I'd use the
portrait
mode, so you can see it's fuzzy in the background. I really liked how that turned out. And then look at this. Oh my gosh. He sent me these 2 pictures. These were selfies.
Selfies.
So this is the workout room, and he
Look at Thor's paws on his shoulder.
On his shoulder, and
oh
then
my
here
gosh.
his head. He's such a dad. That's what I wrote about. Our other dogs have all been mine, and this dog is definitely his. See, look. Do you see why? And then this one is at the dog park, and I put some enamel dots there, and this is just a dog that came up, and so he's throwing the ball, and they're just sitting there
all
waiting.
The dogs like Scott.
Yes. So this is kind of fun. So you can do things like this too. You can have pull-outs or flip-ups. If you have too many pictures of one thing, like I couldn't pick one picture of Thor and Scott together, so I had to do a little pull-out, which is kind of fun. And all you do, this is just a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and you just score it and punch holes. And I added some reinforcers. You can't see those.
Very cute, Teresa.
Yeah.
Super cute. Okay, we have a couple questions.
Yep.
The purple heart paper is from Paper House, and it's online under the Valentine's Day theme. So if you go to memorybound.com and go to shopping and go to themes and then go to Valentine's Day, and it'll be in there. And there's some other colors of that too.
Yeah, there's I think pink and red.
And then Teresa, will you show the back of your album? We have a question about adding pages.
Oh, yeah.
So this is very easy to add pages, and you can get different Teresa's using different configurations. Teresa's using both the 4x6 and the 3x4s.
Yeah.
So you easily just can add pages right there.
So I've kind of laid out my album because I kind of decided I was going to use the 3x4s and the 4x6s. So I just alternated, but then that kind of went out the window when I added my own page in there.
So you never know where you're going to end up, right?
Yeah, but these are going to be perfect for... you just have to make sure you get them back in the right way.
So they're right side up.
So I flipped mine over. That was silly. It's super easy to add pages to these albums.
Well, Teresa, this Me in 23 is a super idea, and it's inspiring a lot of us. And I think a lot of us are going to be really grateful that you started this project and you got us going on it.
Yeah.
And we do have these available if you want to, you can start any time. You don't have to start February 1st. But we do have these available, and they will be coming.
So it's a good way to get started off on the right foot on the right day.
Okay, and the flip books do come with pages. In this 4x6, you're going to get 10 of the 4x6 sleeves. And then if you want to go a little bit bigger and do the 6x8, here's a list of what you get. So you get, again, 10 pages, but you get some different configurations.
Yeah.
And then the snap binders are a little bit different because you're going to get the sleeves, and 10 of them, but you're also going to get these divider pages. So you get, and they coordinate with the binding of the album.
Yeah, I just added the 3x4 these pages because I think they're nice for the journaling cards. But you could,
and our cards are 3x4. So
what you could do is you could slip up.
Oh, you could just attach them.
You could just, put your 3x4 and slip your journaling card in there if you didn't want to do the 3x4s.
All right, perfect.
And then I had mentioned a way to document. Because it's the beginning of the year, it's a good time to start projects like this, do something every month. And so I just wanted to share a page that I did. I said I would bring in. We had a fairly new tree that we planted in our front yard. And it's a way to document changes in your life, I think. And this is my son, Jake. And this was, look here, 2011. Well, isn't that clever how I did that?
Yes.
I'm like, I didn't put the year on it? Oh my gosh, I did put the year on it. So he was in high school here. So I took a picture in the spring with him just standing next to the tree. And then here's summer, and of course the dog came in and we're watering. And look at it, it's got all the leaves on it. Here it's pretty bare. And then the fall, it's just starting to turn. And then the winter, I made him go out and stand in the snow. And yes, he always wore shorts in the winter.
Yeah, a lot of high school kids do.
So I just thought that was just a fun way to document not only my son, to get him out there. He's very resistant to photos, but it's fun to document something like that. And then the other page that I brought, I said that I documented out my kitchen window, and I took a picture every month for a year. So that's something that you could do. You could still do. You could cheat January a little bit.
It's only a day past
only
January.
A day in. We won't tell anyone. And this was an idea that I got from a class that I took. And so I took a picture every, like on the 1st or whatever. You could do the 30th or the 15th, whatever you're going to remember. And it was amazing to me how things changed. And we did have some construction in our backyard, but I didn't know that that was going to happen when it started. And so I was just so impressed on how different the photos were just looking out my window. And then I did some journaling down here talking about what I was doing and what kind of happened throughout the year. But then on the back, and I totally forgot this, I wrote on the back of my page. And so that's an idea. If there's something that you maybe don't want everyone to see, and I don't like my handwriting, but so I did it on the back, and I wrote what happened every month.
That's a good tip. Really good tip.
Yep. And sometimes it was just a sentence. Sometimes it was a couple sentences. But there's the view out my window.
It's kind of like what Darla did. She took pictures of her yard or gardens and things year round. And it was fun to look at how they changed throughout the year.
Yeah. So that's just another idea of a way that you can document. We were talking about the green stove and refrigerator that we used to have growing up. Different things like that. That looking back, you wish you had pictures of. And, you know, there's things in this photo like we had railroad ties in our, there you can probably see it the best in there. We had railroad ties in our backyard, and they were kind of falling down, and so then we had a stone retaining wall put in. So, you know, you can be like, remember when
we had remember before we had the wall?
Yeah.
That's very true. Teresa, thank you so much. Everybody enjoyed that. I think you've inspired a lot of us.
Oh, good.
And I just we had a question about the snap books, and you do get 10 inserts or 10 pages.
10 pages. So that's 20 front and back.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's pretty close. I mean, if you use this for February, it's pretty close to a page every month. You probably have to get some extra refills if you're going to do a page every month. Or you could just do 20.
Yeah,
there
you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's a free world, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was me in 23.
Yep.
And now what we're going to go to is meet Who's Who at Memory Bound and meet the staff. And I'm going to kick that off today. Jackie says she writes on the back of her pages, and I do think that is a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that.
If you don't like your handwriting, you know, it's still documenting. Hopefully someone knows just to flip the page.
Someday they'll find it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and since Teresa was just talking about me in 23, before we start Meet the Staff, I was just going to tell you that I have started mine.
That's
and
awesome,
since
Kelly.
Teresa is doing the flip book and she's doing the tags, what I did was I got these card bases. And they're called brown bag. They're craft, but you get 8 and they're $4.99. I don't know that I'm using the envelopes, but what I basically did was I folded them and I'm going to put them together, and I'm probably going to staple the middle. So I've got my cover done, and then what I picked to use for my papers is the Reminiscence, the book 5. So I have already got my cover, and then I do have one.
Awesome, Kelly.
I've only put in one picture, but I haven't written anything yet.
And look at that. She drew around the edges of her.
Yep, I did a little doodling around it.
Yep,
so.
Doodle.
All right, so that's me in 23, and Teresa, I was kind of excited because when I was looking for things for today for Meet the Staff, I did find this from 2010. So this is me in 2010, and this is something that I bound. We had this paper, but I've got pictures in here, and I've got things like family, our home. I put down my birthday. For my age, I put question mark, Teresa. I don't know why. And then I made a list of things I love: family, movies with popcorn, reading, memory bound, scrapbooking, planning parties, sleeping late, vacations, eating out, being with friends, Las Vegas, baby, and I put Dougie down. So a lot of those are the same. And then I've got different memories and special times. So I was kind of excited I found this. So anyway,
Y2K.
yeah, Y2K. That was a scary time,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I made it. We all made it. And then the words to live by, I put treat others how you like to be treated, do your best, and it's the people who make the party and have fun. So, and I have a little Starbucks sleeve that I turned into a pocket.
Oh,
so,
what
you
a
know,
cute idea.
you might be able to. And so anyway, I did have that of me, and I did enjoy
That's
looking back
awesome.
at it.
Yeah.
So, but today we're kicking off Meet the Staff. I always think of Meet the Press, you know, that TV show. But we are actually doing Meet the Staff, Who's Who at Memory Bound. And I'm going to kick it off today. And I have to tell you, it was a little harder than I thought it would be, because I was trying to figure out, well, what people know a lot about me already, because I'm here on the video quite often, and I've said things I shouldn't have quite often. So you know more about me than maybe you should. But so I had a hard time, so I'm doing a lot of different things, and then each one of our staff members has agreed to introduce themselves here on Facebook on a live video, and that's huge, and I'm so proud of that. I'm really just proud of everybody. We've got a schedule. It's out there on our calendar, so you know who's on what days, and we got a couple people going at the same time on the same day. And it might be, they might just show you their layout they made. They might tell about what they like to do. They might show their things they collect or other hobbies. So it could be anything. It could be anything. So staff, if you're watching, you can do whatever you want at your time to introduce yourself. Right, Chris?
Sure.
Chris just walked by.
I gotta listen to this.
Yeah.
Someone is wondering where the refill pages are for the flip books. I don't know if Janet can maybe link those.
They are online if you go to shopping and go to albums, and then if you go to flip books, they're all in that same category, the albums and the refills. I just looked them up this morning. So everybody was given the task of making a layout about themselves, and since we're promoting Color Vibe, and we're going to talk more about Color Vibe, it might be tomorrow. I hope I'm not supposed to do that today, but we're going to do that another day, even if I am. So we're going to talk more about Color Vibe. It's a simple stories, kind of a basics line. And I use the Color Vibe paper here, so that was kind of my main Color Vibe. The letters are from Color Vibe. And then I also used the Simple Stories collection. What is this called?
Is it Crete?
Let's Get Crafty. So I use the foam stickers and some different papers from the Let's Get Crafty line. And we do have those. There was a cut apart sheet that I don't see here, but there's a cut apart sheet all about being crafty, and this list actually is from that. And then I just typed up some things, like things that are important to me.
I love this picture, Kelly.
I like making mini albums,
See,
so I put that on there.
that too.
And I've got our grandsons.
Half of your face again.
Yep. Yesterday I left early and I got to spend the afternoon with this little one right there. I call him number 3 because he's the youngest.
What a great picture, memory bound.
Yep, I got memory bound in there. That's been a big part of my life.
I don't have that picture. I need that picture.
So anyway, Color Vibe is kind of our monthly thing. And then I think I'll just tell you a couple things about me that maybe you don't know, maybe my early beginnings. Long ago, I was born in this area. I went to school in Ankeny. I lived not far from here as a kid. I graduated from Ankeny High School. I went to Iowa State University. I met Doug, who you've seen. I don't see him back there. I'd have him come out, but you guys have seen Doug. We both worked at McDonald's, like 2 blocks from Memory Bound here, and we met there, and he asked me out on a date. We went on our first date, and we saw a really bad movie, and we had burned pizza. But we stayed together. Doug and I have a son, Nathan, and he works in IT, and he's married, and he's got a 10-year-old little boy. He's our number one. And then our daughter, Corey, is married, and she's got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. So those are what I call number 2 and number 3. So I like to call them, I just do that sometimes for fun. But we're very lucky because our kids live close by, so we can do things like yesterday. If somebody needs a babysitter, we're close by and we can take care of them. the past 22 years, I've been right where you see me now. I've worked in HR. I worked at the Maurice's distribution center. I've worked in some retail, but I've spent a lot of time here at Memory Bound for 22 years. And I didn't mention it, but Janet, this is a squirrel moment. And you know, we have lots of squirrel moments, but Janet is doing blog posts for each of us did she put it on there? Yeah. Okay, thanks, Janet. So then I thought I would tell about a few things that I like, and I meant to go and buy a package of Dark Dove chocolates, but Dark Dove chocolates are it's a really bad thing because Diane has a little problem also. It might not be as bad as mine. And there's a few other dark chocolate people here, but not a lot. So there's a box in the office, and when I go to get one, I don't get one. I take like 2 out at a time. So that's really bad. And I love popcorn. I would eat popcorn every night, but not microwave. It has to be popped. I pop it in a special pan, and it has to have real butter on it. And then I love movies. And I also love junk. Like I like to go to junky places, flea markets, secondhand places, and find treasures. And one thing that I do collect I have a lot of clear glass dishes like this. Doug's not around, but I do have like 4 or 5 cupboards full. But I use them. Like if we're having company, I do get them out and use them. So I've got a couple. I just brought a couple here to show. You know, if it's more than $4 or $5, I pass on it. So it's all very inexpensive. I also have a wonderful Aunt Jen in Nebraska, and she has sent me some of her treasures too. So I do have quite a few. So I do like that. The other kind of stuff I like to find are these little ceramic pots. And I have quite a few of green. I always get green or a blue. And I brought a couple of them today, but I have cupboards full of these too. And I use them in my craft room. I put stuff in them. So that's something that maybe you don't know about me and that I really like. I like to find a treasure, like maybe a typewriter table, and then use it at home, you know, in my craft room or something. Or maybe something that needs to be painted. And so that's what I like. And then the other thing that I realized that I liked, I was trying to, you start thinking about yourself, Teresa, and you're always like, well, what do I do? What do I like? Well, the other thing I like is meaningful jewelry. And it's not like expensive things. And I've worn a couple. I've got 3 pieces on so you can know it. But things like this that have my name on them. Doug had this made for me one time, and it says Doug. Or it says Kellie actually, and then it's got something about ×2 or there's a D for Doug. Okay. And then I also have, and I got this from Doug also, this is my Memory Bound charm bracelet. And if you think about it, a charm bracelet is a scrapbook because each one of these charms is meaningful to me, and it's a memory of something that happened here. Like I've got a little number 10 for our 10-year anniversary. We've been to Las Vegas a few times for market. We've got a little megaphone here because we had a theme event once that was, what was it, Cropping with Class or something like that. A camera. I've got the Memory Bound logo. A scrapbook. We had Grow Your Scrapbook, so I have a little watering can and just different things like that. And it's, like I said, when I wear it, it makes me happy. And then the other, I have a couple other charm bracelets, and this is another scrapbook about me. There's a squirrel, Teresa. Oh, I told you that I love popcorn. And then here's a ticket for like going to movies because I like going to movies. And this is, then I've got one here that Doug actually had made for me from. I think the ladies at Brighton were drooling when Doug came in to make this. But it's got things. It's got like a boy and a girl for our kids, places we've been like Colorado, Florida. It's got a thing for our dog, a camera, and different things like that. So when I wear these, they just make me happy because it reminds me of good times and things about my life that I'm so lucky about. And then the one that I really want to show, I got this when I was like 12. So if you've got a charm bracelet and your charms aren't going to fall off and they're in good condition, wear it because they're so fun. I've got like even a Sweet 16. I did a lot of writing in high school, so my mom and dad got me a typewriter, and it even types. and places I've been. There's McDonald's. You know, I told you I met Doug at McDonald's, so I got a gold French fry. So just things like that. Like I said, I've got some things with our grandson's birthstones on it. So anyhow, those things make me happy. And then, so I thought I'd tell you about things I like and things that make me happy. Maybe some of the scrapbooks I've done. I wanted to show you what's in my scrapbook room. I brought it right here. And this basically, I sat at my desk and I cleaned last week. I had a day off and I cleaned. And I thought about what do I use all the time? And so I thought I would share that with everybody, which of course my trimmer, this is the Fiskars trimmer I use. It's getting wore off here. So I think I'm about due for a new one. I use my Misty all the time. I forgot my Stampendable, but I use my Stampendable all the time for stamping. And then I always grab this ruler, and it's even chipped on one end, but I use that a lot. And then my go-to is Vintage Photo. I usually always use Vintage Photo for inking, and I use either one of Tim's little handles or I use the little brush from Picket Fence. So that's my ink. And then I always have a black pen, and sometimes I use it and sometimes I just make notes with it. And then I usually mostly stamp with the jet black archival ink, so you'll see that. And then this is a little pair of scissors, and they actually have my name engraved on them, that courtesy of Dawn. Many years ago, the Inscriblio was popular.
Oh, yeah.
I think Dawn wrote, well, maybe I did my own name on there. The Inscriblio came out with EK Success, so we were engraving everything. But these are like the Cutter Bees. They're just a little different version of the Cutter Bee scissors. And then the Crop-A-Dial, we've talked about that everybody needs a Crop-A-Dial, and I use it for punching holes all the time. And I keep a full spool of this on my desk. I use this on a lot of my projects, the jute twine, and it's $19.99 for, what is it, about 1 million feet, 400 yards. So that'll last you. And then I keep the Nouveau White Blizzard. So look around your area where you work and just think about, what do I use all the time? And then there's the adhesives. And I use foam squares, but I really like foam tape. I use that a little bit more. It's just easier, less to peel off. And you got to have score tape. And then I'm using the Mono Air from Tombow. That's my new favorite tape runner. So, and then my liquid glues, I've been using the Red Line quite a bit, but I use all three of these because, you know, I work at Memory Bound, so I have access. So those are my basic tools at home. If I look around, and I did have a little scrap of honeybee gems, a little piece, and I left that at home, but that stays right by my desk also. So I don't know if people found that interesting or not, or if anyone has questions.
Juanita wants to know where your tiny attacher is.
Oh, you know what? I need to use that more.
I have mine.
It's out of reach.
Mine's always within
I have to go like this to get it. I have to go like this.
Oh.
So otherwise I'd probably use it more. I need to get it a little closer. Okay, so the other thing I was going to show is some projects. And, you know, we all look back at our first scrapbooks and we're like, oh, I need to redo that.
Don't do it.
This is not my first one, but it's pretty early. I think my first one was up on a shelf a little higher and it was a little heavy to get it down. But this is from 1996 and it's a Disney vacation. And I just wonder if this looks familiar to any of you, if you have scrapbooks probably that look like this. Because Teresa, I don't know how you started scrapbooking, but I started with Creative Memories. And I didn't mention it, but I was a Creative Memories consultant before Memory Bound. So anyway,
lots of fun corners, I see.
Yep, lots of fun corners, some punches. And I am so glad I have this. It might not be the style that I would use today, but I am so glad.
Own people
yes.
there.
Yeah, got a few people cut out. I've got a pocket with some brochures. So this is one of my early scrapbooks.
That's awesome.
And like I said, I am so glad I have it. Because and then I do want to mention that how Dawn and I got started, we had a hot foil imprinting machine and we still have it. And that's how I was able to put this Walt Disney words on there, and that's how I was able to do the spine. And we don't do that anymore, but that's kind of how Memory Bound got started many years ago. The other type of albums I like to do, I love mini books. So junk binders are super fun. This is made out of page protectors, and they're just hooked on a ring, and it's probably glaring. I don't know if it glares if I hold it like this. So these are just page protectors that are hooked together. A trip from 2011, and I like to just put brochures and just all kinds of stuff in here. So this is where Elvis Presley tried to kiss me, but I avoided it. So things we did, brochures, and I love looking back on these. These are just good family times.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's another type of album that I like to do. And then in 2012, I decided to do a journal, kind of like you're talking about, Teresa, me in 23. But this was going to be a whole year of things Doug and I do and things that happen. And I feel like we were extremely boring. Like what are we ever going to have, you know? But what ended up, and this is another like junk binder, it ended up that I had to use 2 different books. So I just have pictures on little pieces of paper. There's a little gathering we had at Memory Bound. One day we went to the Bass Pro Shops for ha-has because it had just opened here in our area. So we went and took pictures, and when we were at the trade show, I put my little name tag in there. And there's Dawn and I at CHA in January of 2012. And I got flowers, which was a miracle. So it ended up, like if we went to a movie, I put it in here, or if we went out to eat. So it's just cards that I got. There's a Valentine card.
Well, that's
so
a good idea.
it's just really fun. We went to a Jimmy Buffett concert, and this is another thing that I treasure. So
yeah, Kelly, they want to know a little more about when you started Memory Bound, how that happened.
Okay, Dawn and I were friends, and there is a video on this, and maybe Janet can link it, because for our video one day, Dawn and I just sat down and told the story of Memory Bound. But Dawn and I were neighbors, and we became friends, and then we decided we wanted to go and do something fun on the side, and I was working part-time, and I think she was home with her kids or something. And so we bought a machine, and it looked like an antique. It's this great big thing that gets hot, and that's with the hot foil printing. And we went to a couple crops, and we imprinted people's albums, and that was really fun. And then and they were always Creative Memories crops. And then and we went to a couple stores, I think. And then we're like, well, why don't we have a crop? So we're like, okay, well, why aren't there other crops other than Creative Memories? So we decided to have a crop, and we hoped to get 50 people, and we had 500. So then we were kind of off and running, and we had the crop, and then we had an opportunity to purchase an online store called Scrappers Haven. I don't know if any of you remember Scrappers Haven, but we purchased it. We drove to Michigan, and we got all the product and brought it back, and we had a third friend, Barb, that joined us during that time. And then we had another event with 1,000 people and decided to open up what you know now as Memory Bound. And it was kind of, I always tell people, it was kind of like, should we or shouldn't we? It was risky, you know. We didn't know. Luckily, our husbands had real jobs. But and so what I said was, if we don't try it, someday we're going to look back and say, what if we would have? So we went for it, and the rest is history. And luckily, that was during the time when scrapbooking was booming, and people were getting into it and wanting to know more about it. And we had these events, so that really helped us get out and get it going quicker. So is there let me know if there's any specific questions. That's it in a nutshell. Yep. And we're still here.
Yes.
And Dawn did retire a year ago, so she officially today has been retired for 1 year. So, but we're still here, Teresa, and I'm still here. And speaking of Dawn and Memory Bound, I did a little, here's another little, you can see how much I love mini albums. This was a holiday party we had one year. And I think we actually had this stuff for people to make this at the party, and then I completed mine at the end of the party. So I just, like I said, I have a whole cabinet of cute little books like this. And the other one I wanted to share with everybody, because it doesn't have to be pictures. Maybe you collect something and maybe you collect something and you take pictures of what you collect. But I also have this book. It's called Our Life in the Comics. And I started this quite a few years ago, where if I found a comic that I liked, or if it related to something in my life, I cut it, or I made copies of it, or I cut it out, and I've been putting it in this scrapbook ever since. And these are hilarious to go back and look at, and sometimes you don't know what they mean or what they're about because things have changed so much. But this is something, a project that I really do like. Like, for example, here's a closet. And so it's kind of like you go to your closet and you have all these different sizes, and then you don't have anything to wear. Mm-hmm. So, and then I did a little sketch of our closet at the time. Oh. And here's the green is Doug and the red is me.
Yeah, looks like my closet.
Yeah, it's, it makes sense. So anyway, this is really fun, and
it is fun.
I just thought maybe if you like this kind of stuff, you might enjoy doing something like this. And again, this was one of our videos also here on a morning where I showed it and things.
People want to know if we're still in the same location as when you opened.
We are. We expanded within the first year we expanded. Our store has 3 units in this mall. We started with 2, and then within a few months when we opened, we were able to expand to the 3rd. Okay, Teresa, we've got one more thing.
Okay.
A lot of people come in and they say, yeah, you moved, but no, we haven't moved. We're in the same place. We're in the same place.
You had a store in Ames for a while.
We did. Thank you. Thanks for mentioning that. I forgot all about that.
I never went there, but I know it was there.
It was there, and we had a really cute store in Ames, and it was really nice. We just found that we were missing a lot of our kids' activities because it is a lot to expand like that. So what I want to do, I've kind of been blabbering about myself and the things that I like to do and things. So on my layout, I want to show you how I did it, and maybe you would like this sketch, because if you look behind all of the embellishments and the pictures, and I'm using Color Vibe. So let me get these out so I know what color they are. So I'm starting with this color right here, and Color Vibe, this is warm white, and Color Vibe is solid but textured on one side, and on the back it's got these little dots. So you can use either side, whichever you like. So then on mine, I've got this 11 by 9.5, and I don't usually do this. This is kind of a cool, like Peggy frames her pages a lot like this, and I've always loved it, but I haven't really done it. And then I've got 3.25 by 4.25 pieces of color cardstock. So I'm using 4 colors of Color Vibe. So I'm using the warm white, and then the gray is gray. So this is gray, which looks a lot like Lost Shadow.
It does.
We should call that Lost Shadow. And then I'm using brick and peony. So those are the colors that I'm using. So 11 by 9.5. So this is kind of a page map, you might say, that you could try if you wanted to. And then I'm laying these out here. And I'm going to have to cover that 11 by 9.5. So you'll have to memorize it. And then you can put these little pieces here. And what I found was those dimensions, you're going to fit the 3.25 by 4.25 perfectly. And the reason why that's good is because, and I think I'm going to put it about like that. That's good because a lot of the papers have a 3 by 4 cut apart on them. I might have to move that down. So I'm just going to put this together real quick.
And then it's a perfect size for wallets.
Yes, that's another thing too. Now this is going to goof me up. I'm going to just kind of put them on loosely so I can move them around because I'm doing this upside down.
Someone wanted to know if we did videos before COVID.
That's a really good question.
It is.
And we did do videos before COVID. We had a we were doing a live video on Wednesdays, and on Tuesdays we did what we called Tuesday Technique on our YouTube channel. So those were pre-recorded. And then when COVID hit, we realized a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to come to Memory Bound or get out, so we started doing our live videos every day. Now on my layout, I'm going to put this up here since it's make it different. On my layout, I took this whole piece with the cream or the gray here, and it's all popped up with foam tape. And that gave it a little bit more dimension. But this one I'm going to just lay flat to make it easier. And then I've took the Cupids. Can't remember the name of this. So I've got Cupid & Company, just to show you something. I'm doing the same layout, but with Cupid & Company. And this is by Echo Park, and it is very cute. Just to give you an idea. So I cut one of their 3x4 papers apart. I think I was going to put that there.
And that's $15.99 for that paper pack.
Thanks, Teresa. And then this is a 4x4, so it's going to actually go over, but I'm good with that. I'm very good with that. Actually, I'm going to put it here so I can cover this. And I'm going to move this over. I think that's kind of cool. And then I've got this little sticker sheet here, and I'm going to put this little truck right here. And then, so I just wanted to kind of show you how you can recreate what I put on here.
I love the banner. That's cute.
I think that's really fun. So, and then, you know, you can add little things. And I am doing this all by the seat of my, I am flying by the seat of my pants. Yes, I am,
No
Teresa.
photos?
I know, I didn't bring any photos because I decided to do this today. So, but I think you get the idea how you can take this basic layout, and then you can cut out your 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and I've already figured out to how big to make your gray piece. And then you can just add your photos and your embellishments, and they can go across. Like this one goes right down the middle of this one down to the bottom, and then I've got this picture that goes across here.
I like it.
And you can put things in the middle and add some dimension, and that's the basic layout. It's kind of like one of those Simple Stories page templates, but we made it up ourselves. And it's hard for me to quit because I just want to keep adding things. So here's a cute little heart.
You would probably put more on once you get the photos, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you could add more to it, but I just wanted to show you the base.
Yeah.
And how cute that
Very
looks.
simple.
Okay, well, Teresa, I hope this is what people were hoping for. I hope it's what you were hoping for. This is our Meet the Staff, Who's Who at Memory Bound, and I'm kicking it off today. Is there any other questions? Or I was really nervous. I want everybody to know that.
How did you and Don meet? You were neighbors?
We were neighbors. Yeah, we were neighbors and became friends, and then went into business together and stayed friends. So that's the miracle of all of it, really.
And I know there isn't anyone tomorrow for Meet the Staff.
We have the calendar.
On Friday there's someone. I looked at it and I can't remember who's on Friday.
Okay, tomorrow we're going to introduce Color Vibe. Okay. So we're going to tell you about all the components of Color Vibe. It's not just paper, you know, like we showed here today. And then Katie and Janet are here tomorrow, and they're going to take the Simple Life card kit and they're going to turn it into an album, and they're going to add it embellishments to Katie's crate. So that's going to be really cool. Yeah. And then Peggy is here on Friday for her introduction.
All right. Great.
So hopefully you learned a little bit more about me. You got some me in 23.
The person that started the store, and then next is the person that's the newest.
That's right. We're framing it,
and then
Teresa.
We'll fill it all in between.
We're getting the beginning and the end. Well, not the ending, but the latest.
Yeah.
So, but anyhow, thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for all your kindness and your comments. And We really appreciate it, and I hope you like this series. Let us know how you like it, and if you're doing a Me in 23, let us know, because we're going to keep you updated.
Take some pictures today.
Absolutely. Have a great day.